We're building a mudroom today! Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In case you missed it, last week we just refreshed this whole living room. You all left me such kind comments about this makeover, so thank you very much. We've been really enjoying this space. Obviously, I've been super busy making over each and every single room in this apartment. I've been working on our garage on and off and just trying to make small improvements in there. Especially with my cabinet workstation, it honestly has made such a difference and I love it so much. It makes working in there so much more enjoyable. And it didn't hit me until the other day that usually when I'm doing projects and I'm waiting for stuff to dry, I literally have nowhere to go. I don't want to sit on my nice furniture because usually I'm kind of dirty working on projects. So what I end up doing is actually sitting at the top of my stairs for like a good 20-30 minutes and I kind of just work on my phone, check Instagram, post stories, that kind of a thing. And last week when I was working on that project back there, Brian saw me just sitting there chilling and then he was like, why don't you build something for the garage where you can like actually hang out and relax? And when he said that, I just thought it was such a good idea and a light bulb went off in my head to build a mudroom. So that's what we're working on this week and it is actually so perfect because not only is it going to look good, but it's also going to provide so much storage, which I definitely need. I've been brainstorming and I feel like I have a pretty solid plan, so let's make it happen. And before we get started, I have to thank Rocket Money for sponsoring today's video. I will talk a little bit more about them later on, but for now, let me show you what we're working with. Update on the entryway. We still love it and it's still very clean, which I'm very happy about. Now into the garage. So here is where our future mudroom is going to be. I have these shelves that I tried to clean up a little bit. I'm currently sorting through everything, so don't mind all of this. So we are gonna shift things up around here. I'm gonna take these shelves and move them onto this side to kind of create a divider between the workshop and then the mudroom slash workstation area. I want the workshop to be more contained because right now it's just spilling into everywhere else, and this little area is going to be my little chill zone. When we had my parents over, I was actually embarrassed of them to walk through the garage because the flow in here just like does not make any sense. So I think if we were to shift things around, it'll just make things a lot easier. So I'm gonna move these so I can kind of game plan the layout of the whole thing and make sure everything fits. If you guys missed the garage makeover when I first did it, I bought these shelves. I actually bought one and now I have 3 of them because they are really great. They basically just fold up in the back, which is amazing, especially if you move a lot. This will honestly save you the hassle from having to break it down. Okay, these legs are locked. What did I do? Also, the only outlet I have is on this wall, so we have to work around that. This is not going straight. Much better. Okay, I had to work here one last time, but I have my little mock-up right here. So here's my vision. I'm thinking about doing 2 towers of cabinets and then a bench in between. Just adding those 2 elements is already gonna make it look like a mudroom, but I want it to really look like a built-in by adding some type of wall paneling. Like, is this not a statement piece? I actually have a guest coming over next week and it's gonna be the first thing that she sees. And she's probably gonna be like, what is that? And I'll be like, yeah, I just made myself a little rest area, a little mudroom, and I built it myself. So I'm thinking of doing beadboard or wainscoting, which I've actually have never used before. I've seen it in stores and I feel like this might be the best opportunity that I'll get to use that. And as you can see, we are going with a blue-green color. I really like the look of teal mudrooms and teal paneling. These photos really inspired me and I also want to do some wallpaper. So I'm choosing between a couple of different wallpapers. I'm gonna order them right now actually. This is just gonna be so cool because it's gonna make the garage feel so much more intentional. It's gonna add some storage and extra seating, and a lot of times Brian actually visits me while I work on projects and he kind of just like walks around. So now I actually have a spot for him to sit to keep me company. So that is the game plan. I'm gonna order the bench and then the cabinet and also grab the other supplies. Coming through, we have some wainscoting or wainscoting. I've heard people say it many different ways, so I don't know what the correct way to say it is. I'm pretty sure it's wainscoting though. So this is a pre-made panel. It was only 17 bucks, which I think is a great price. This is 32 by 48 across. This is a really good option because it saves you the hassle from having to cut your own board and battens. Obviously, there are some limitations since you can't completely customize it, but honestly, for a renter like me, I think this is perfect. When I was at the store, I had the hardest time choosing the correct teal, so I was thinking of either doing like a true teal color, which honestly is a little bit too bright for me. Then I was thinking of a little bit more of a muted color, but I was just scared that under this lighting it would look a little bit too gray, which honestly, it doesn't look bad in here. But ultimately, I ended up doing more of a greenish blue teal. This is really dark and moody, and I just really love how deep the color is. And just doing a color like this just makes everything look so much more luxe and expensive. Painting time. Look at that color. Wow, that is so good. Okay guys, I wanted to share a little life update. I kind of mentioned this in last week's video, but we are currently in the process of figuring out where we want to go next. We're taking the next step and seeing what our options are. We did think about extending our lease here, but right now I think we are definitely leaning more towards buying a place. We don't know how long this process is going to take, but we are actively searching and saving and make sure that we are staying on top of everything. So whether that's a townhouse or a single family home, we are definitely keeping a close eye on all of our expenses right now. One of my favorite tools to help me keep in check is with Rocketmoney, who is kindly sponsoring today's video. I have been a user for many, many years now, and if you are not familiar with Rocketmoney, it is an app that you absolutely need. It helps you save more and manage your money better, and I feel like no matter what stage you are in life, everyone can benefit from it. I just really love that everything is in one central location, so I don't have to hop between different apps. One of my favorite features is under the recurring tab. So here you can see all of your upcoming charges and your subscriptions, and you could also cancel any of your unwanted subscriptions that you're not using anymore. I did this at the beginning of the year, and I realized there was a subscription on there that we weren't using for like 3 months because I haven't used it in 3 months. So that definitely saved me a good chunk of change, and you can do it right in the app. It only takes a couple of clicks, and honestly, you'd be surprised by how much money you're wasting when you're not keeping track of it. So this has been such a lifesaver. You can also set budget and smart savings accounts so you know exactly where your money is going. This has definitely kept me more accountable, and if you guys want to check it out and start taking care of your finances today, you can use my link down below, or you can go to rocketmoney.com/TinaLay to get started for free. All right, now back into the video. Wow, it's quite nice. Still gonna cover it though. Okay, so the bench is here. I'm checking it out, and this blue is actually pretty nice, but it's not the blue that we are going with. So I am gonna have to paint all of these pieces, unfortunately. They did have a white option, but it was out of stock, so I had to go for this one. And I really love the design of this because it has a top storage compartment, and then there's also doors underneath. So there's a lot of storage in this. And like you guys saw, there's also a cushion, but we are going to reupholster that so that it's a little bit more design forward. Is that the word I'm looking for? Yeah, I just wanted to have a pattern on it, so that's my plan for that. And now I'm gonna have to sand all of these pieces and then prime them. So this is gonna be quite the process. I knew I wanted to do some sort of pattern for this cushion. And when I was in the store, I stood there for like 30 minutes trying to find the right one because they honestly didn't have that many options. So I landed on this one, which I think is such a beautiful color. I know the wallpaper I'm going with is gonna have a huge pattern on it. So I wanted to go with something with a solid background and then a smaller repeat pattern. And if we put it against the teal color, I think they just go so well together. I kind of have an obsession with this color combo right now. The contrast on here is just so good. So I think this was the right choice. I got 1 yard, which is basically enough to cover this whole thing. I'm just gonna make a big envelope basically, and I hope no seamstress comes for me because I'm just gonna hot glue this together and then put a piece of Velcro so that I can remove it when I need to. I wish I had some hem tape on hand for this part, but honestly the hot glue wasn't doing a bad job at all. I swear you guys, hot glue can do anything. Just make sure that you're putting it at a low setting for fabric. You could also use an iron to crease up the edges. I found that I didn't really have to. I cut off the excess and then folded up the edges like a present, making sure that all the ends were taut. And ta-da! This was already looking so much better. Another day, another build. I'm actually really excited that we finally are getting some clothes storage in here because, as you can see, there's just a huge mess everywhere, and I think we definitely need to contain it. So for me to be able to have some doors to close, it's gonna be amazing. I will usually leave the doors out though because it's easier to paint flat, but otherwise I will build it first, prime it, paint it, get it all done. It's a little bit less of a hassle. This is totally giving me like IKEA furniture vibes, so you could totally do this with IKEA furniture as well. I did also try to find stuff secondhand, but I had no luck, so I thought this was a good option. It's also pretty affordable, and I like that it starts off as a white base, so you can just prime it pretty easily. Let's see how long this will take. I have about 2 hours left of my audiobook, so by the time that's over, hopefully I'm done building 2 of these. Time to go to bed. I'm so tired. We're gonna keep working on this tomorrow. Okay, all of this painting has been no joke. Like literally this morning I had to do hand stretches, but I'm feeling a lot better now. We are in the final stages, and the biggest thing I have to do today is to wallpaper the back wall basically. To make things really easy, I'm gonna use a piece of polywall, so I could just use scissors to cut that. And I have 2 different wallpaper options. I'm still deciding between them, so let me show you guys. This first option is very moody, very floral, very vintage. Oh, the free sticker just fell out of it. This one is corgis and cats. I basically have a whole sticker collection from Wallpaper alone now. Anyways, this one has a navy blue background and the colors are very muted. This looks almost Victorian to me, and I really like the whole vibe of this. And then I have this lighter option, which is basically greenery. It's a bunch of different leaves. It's a little bit lighter and brighter. Still has that vintage vibe to it because it has the hand-drawn look, but I'm going to put this against the teal color to see how I feel about it. Option number 1. Option number 2. Okay, we're going with the darker one. Okay, so this board is gonna go on the back of this bench. Do you guys see the vision? Now I just have to attach it. Okay, let's try it. Then this goes here.
I'm just gonna come in here and sit and witness. Did another amazing job.
Thanks, honey. It's not even finished yet.
There's more?
Yeah, well, the doors aren't on it. We're keeping it pretty minimal with the finishing touches since this already is such a statement. The open shelving is great for display, but I think I want to add little baskets in the future. And I'm also placing a vinyl rug in here, which I've been eyeing for a while. It has a penny tile design that is super classic and just ties everything together. What once was a messy storage area is now the perfect mudroom to have a seat and get ready for the day. I never thought that a garage could be so cozy, but I just love this so much. Like, you guys, we really made a little mudroom in the apartment. I never would have thought to create this idea. So thank you to Ryan for giving me this idea. I really do wish I could have brought this wallpaper all the way up, so maybe I can find out a solution to do that in the future. Other than that, I'm really happy with how everything looks together and how all the colors are just playing so well off of each other. Let me know your thoughts on this makeover in the comments below, and if this gave you any ideas for your own home as well. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and also like this video because I have a ton more ideas coming at you guys. That is it for me today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay inspired and I will see you in the next one. Bye!